welcome back from spring break. Today we're going to do a quick review of what we were doing in 2 weeks ago before we had our spring break. And so I'm going to go over a couple of types of problems that we were doing then, and then I'm going to have you practice them. So the first type of problem we did before break was finding a new amount. And these were the steps that I had given you guys, and you should have these in your notes. If you don't, now's the time to add them. But for this first problem, we want to find a new amount. If I have 15 inches and I need to increase it by 20%, the steps that I'm going to follow, first off, I'm going to use the percent equation to find the part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and type this here. I don't know what the part is, so we called that A, and that equals your percent written as a decimal, so that'd be 20 hundredths times 15. So that would be my equation. So when I solve that, I find out that A, if I do it, let me go ahead and pull my calculator up here. I have 15 times 20 hundredths gives me 3. So A would be 3. So then, since it's an increase, I have to add that on to what the whole was originally. Well, originally it was 15. So 15 plus 3 is going to give me a total of 18 inches. So that was the first type of problem that we did last week. The second type of problem that we did last week were questions where we were finding the percent of change. And again, you should have this in your notes. If you don't, you're going to want to add that in because that is going to be very important for us. So for the percent of change, we need to figure out how much it changed. So here, if you look, I have 50 pounds and we're going to 35 pounds. That is an increase or a decrease? It is going to be a decrease. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to say it's a decrease and remind myself that it's going down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a fraction. And on the top of the fraction, I'm going to go ahead and do 50 minus 35. On the bottom of the fraction, I have to put the original amount, which in this case was 50. So once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to simplify this fraction. So when I go to simplify this fraction, I'm going to go ahead and say that 50 minus 35, that would give me 15. And then on the bottom, I still have the 50. So I have a fraction here of 15 over 50, or 15 divided by 50. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my calculator and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to divide that. So I'm going to do 15 divided by 50, and that's going to give me a decimal. It gives me 0 and 3/10. So this equals 0 and 3/10. But we need that to be turned into a percent. So we're going to go ahead and write 30%. All right. From there, I would say that it was a decrease and it was 30%. So these are the two types of problems that we were doing last week. So we had finding the new amount and we also had finding the percent of change. And what you guys are going to do today is a puzzle sheet. So you're going to get this puzzle sheet to have it as an attachment. You are welcome to print it out if you would like, or you can just do it in your notebook paper. And what we're going to do for the notebook, if you decide to do it that way, I'm going to have you guys set your paper up with this part here that's on the bottom. We're going to go ahead and make boxes. So this is what my notebook's going to look like. So you put your name, today's date, and then the period. And then these boxes, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That'll be the first word. Then there's a space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll be your second word. Another space, and then a 2-letter word at the end. And what you're going to do is you're going to do your first problem. So I'm going to show you the first problem here. This is one where it says find the new amount, and we have 42 customers and it's being increased by 50%. After I find my answer, it's going to be one of these answers here at the top, and I'll just have to pick which one it is once I do my work. So 42 customers increased by 50%. I'll go ahead and do my work, and this is using the percent equation. So what I'm going to do is I don't know what the part is, so that's A, and that's going to equal 42, which is my whole, times your percent as a decimal. 50% would be 0 and 50 hundredths, or 0.5. But when you solve that, you use your calculator here. I would go ahead and do 42 times 5 hundredths. I would get 21. Well, obviously, when we go to do that, A equals 21. Some of you would stop there, and you'd go and you'd look for your answer of 21, and you'd be like, uh-oh, it's not there. And that's because you haven't done the second part of the problem yet. Since it's an increase, you have to add that 21 on to the original amount. So going back up here, I'm going to go ahead and say I had 42 originally plus 21, and my total would be 63. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to look for this answer. I need to look for 63 as my choice. So I'll go back here and look. So number 1, 60. Oh, there it is. It's going to be Y. So what I'm going to do is number 1 is Y. I'll go ahead and record it right there. But I also have to go to box number 1 and put a Y in here. Okay. Hopefully that will help you guys so that you can solve your puzzle sheet. You are going to get both Monday and Tuesday to complete it, so 2 days. If you have questions, feel free to email me and I will help you as best I can.